I've never done this before, animate a famous character in 1 hour. My day job as an After Effects animator means I don't have to draw everything out. But today, I am trying. This might be a flaming disaster, and I might need to switch jobs after this. I have to wonder, can I open up a bakery? Maybe. Let's get to the important question. What am I drawing? Today, I am going to be drawing Wile E Coyote in 1 hour. And why did I pick the random number of 1 hour? This is the only amount of time that I have before responsibilities have to come back. But for the next hour, let's see if I can give you some entertainment and I can have fun doing something that I've never done in my entire life. Do you think I have a chance of making this look good? I just realized I never gave you the rules of this challenge. So you already know that I'm going to be drawing Wile E Coyote. It's going to take 1 hour. The program that I'm going to be using is Procreate because I've used it before, or for some of my personal animations, and I've made a few videos about that already, shortcuts, just basic setup for animation. If you want to check those videos out, I've included them in the description below. One more thing that I do want to mention for this challenge is I'm going to give myself a teensy advantage. And what that means is I've put two references of Wile E Coyote on my iPad. In fact, share the screen. So I have two references for Wile E Coyote in my project. There's the front view and there's the side view, or profile. And to save me a few seconds, I've already turned the animation assist on, which means that my timeline for creating animations is already up, and I don't have to go looking through my program, even though I know exactly where it is because I've used it so much by this point. But the few seconds is going to matter when you're drawing an entire character and doing it in the Looney Tunes style. Now all I have to do is remember his personality, remember how he moves, and somehow recreate this a little bit. So you might be able to remember the beloved character from your childhood or something that you've watched in the background. I really am considering opening that bakery instead of continuing my job now. I've got my timer right here. You might have heard the beep. The timer is set for 60 minutes. We've got 1 hour to do this. No idea if it's going to be possible. I've got no plan. There is something to be said for the Looney Tunes characters. The biggest thing is that they are very, very famous for leaving reality and for making a lot of gags. Thinking about my time limit, I'm going to make him running, because if I can make him running, then I can do that Looney Tune effect. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get a sense of the shapes so that I can hopefully easily, quickly recreate and not have to think too much about specifics. I'm going to leave off on doing arms at the moment. I know I'm going to do it in the side view now that I have my basics and I only have, so much time. So I know I'm going to want him leaning forward. I'm going to do this in red so I can at least see it. It might be a little overbalanced from that, but that's okay. I'm going to keep it rough, I think. I'm thinking about my time limit. I'm going to make him running. Run cycles are hard, but I think the only thing harder is accuracying and changing camera angles. Looney Tunes actually doesn't have a lot of camera angles. I feel like I'm getting portions wrong. Oh, definitely. He looks very... I'm trying to do this from memory. Please don't judge. It'd be really cool if, holding forks and spoons like he's trying to eat Roadrunner. And right now we could just have that be... I feel like that's a little bit good, but also not the greatest. I'm going to try doing one more, but this one I'm going to start with the base. I really do want to try to get at least one frame right, because if I can get it right, I think I can do a bounce, and that'll make it work really well. I'm leaning really far over. He is the very, very eager and a little scary right now. He is like is he like one of the skinniest characters? I know all of the Chuck Jones ones, the Looney Tunes characters, they end up all being these really skinny anthropomorphic kind of animals, but I don't know, this just seems like extreme. He's really going to want to be extending them because he's trying to catch Roadrunner. That's his whole motivation. By the way, I never mentioned why I'm picking Wile E Coyote as a subject for this experiment of can I actually animate this character. The reason why I'm picking him is because he's very special to me for two reasons. One, my grandfather had a whole bunch of Looney Tune characters lined up on his shelves, and Wile E Coyote and Roadrunner were one of the more common ones that you would see on his shelf. Also, when my husband and I got married, we were watching Looney Tunes. I do not remember why we picked it up, but we decided that we would watch some Looney Tunes. And Wile E Coyote is also one of his favorite characters. So I just thought I have to do this as the first one. I've never animated a cloud of dust before. We'll see if it ends up working. That's not looking too bad. So I'm going to try to refine this a little bit and see what I can do. So definitely not how I imagine seeing this going. So everything is still probably going to be pretty rough, but hopefully I can at least get some better shapes going. I feel like once I've got like the rough drawing, since I really am going to be cheating just slightly at this, in the sense that I'm going to try to do, oddly, this is an animation thing, and I'm trying to animate as little as possible because there's not going to be enough time otherwise. And the idea is it even possible if you have limited time, can you actually animate something like this if all you have is an hour or even less? And I think that's good for the length. How am I doing on time? Okay, it's not as bad as I'm thinking, but I know that time is going to run out very quickly. He has 3 tufts. There we go. In fact, that one's actually supposed to track a little bit lower. Okay, so it's now too big and I'm losing time on it. I might be hoping for a polished animation, but I have a feeling that this is going to look really rough. But the question is going to be, does it look like Wile E. Coyote? And, well, are you entertained? That would be question number 2. And that's something that you're going to have to let me know down in the comments below. His nose is going out more. His arms are going to be tricky. And his hands are like big mittens. I don't feel like I'm panicking just yet, but that's only because I know I've got some time. Wait, never mind. By the way, the process that I'm doing to draw this is something that I'm just literally doing on the fly because I've never, ever done anything like this before. So I have no idea if it's something a professional animator would do, or if this is something that I'm literally picking up. But this kind of animation I do for fun. I feel like I'm messing up on those hands, but I'm gonna keep moving on. Is there anything I'm missing? Eyebrows. And finally, he has that third little bit. Now I'm realizing the head is way too big. But by this point, we cannot go back, so we gotta go on. All right, so it's not looking too bad. I'm going to draw this one more time to really refine it even more. Then I'm gonna actually be moving on to trying to figure out how to animate this character. I only have 40 minutes. I just realized that the pose that I have him in, a couple things. One, my silhouette is getting a little confused with how closely I've made the spoon and fork, and they're also not the right portion, size, but oh well. And the other thing, I now have to additionally animate the tongue, so that's gonna be, but let's start doing a little bit of cleanup. I'm down to 35 minutes. Let's see what I can do. So since he's moving and he's running, so he's going up and down, let's duplicate and just make him bouncing, because I'll have to do follow through of ears, tongue. I think his nose might also move just because his nose is pretty long, and noses aren't, if they're that long, they're not typically solid. So there might be some movement there. Maybe arms have to jostle too, and then he needs to have a lot of weight. Go back up. That's not terrible. I gotta find a way to smooth this out. Duplicate this one more time. I'm going to put it in between the two. I need him to feel faster. There we go. So his ears going down, and his ears are still going to be up. So I'm going to change it so that they're up slightly. Something else to keep in mind when you're animating arms, if you're running, you're going to be running like this. So you can already see my arms are swinging. And now I've got to animate shoulders. Let me pull this back, but I'm going to leave this, because if I can get this little part down now, then I'm not going to have to worry about it later. We're down to 30 minutes. He's not really even running. He's just bobbing up and down. And now I just want to see if I can get this done. So this is an interesting one because I need to have it actually have delays. I'm at the 25-minute mark and I'm starting to feel that panic. I don't think I'm even going to have enough time for coloring. He's still pretty stiff. 20 minutes. Let's see. This is looking so rough, and I'm just under 20 seconds. And this is 5 frames of animations, 5 drawings. This is with me doing a bunch of different tricks, you know, like copying and pasting and trying to do it. I've definitely bitten off more than I can chew, and I'm still very excited for you to see the results. This is not going to be perfect. This is going to be one of the messiest, most horrendous pieces that I've probably ever done. But I will leave that up to you to decide. So maybe judge kindly. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible so I can actually animate it. And I know I have not done a proper walk cycle, but I'm hoping that this will be all right. Let's see if I can maybe add like a foot that's coming out somewhere, and maybe that'll sell this a bit more. But I only have 10 minutes, so some stars also probably wouldn't hurt it. But we're just going to add some stars. There's not enough time. It looks like it's an effect. We're nearly done. Come on. Time is up. Let's just play it. So what worked? I'm going to say that one of the things that I was nervous about is I was scared that I wouldn't be able to get the proportions right on Wile E. Coyote. As drawings go, it's not Wile E. Coyote, but it's pretty close. Don't think I animated him correctly, but I do one thing that I will say that I do absolutely love about this little animation that I've done is the effect of those stars. I feel like it adds so much, which kind of shows that maybe you can get away with doing a little bit of effects. I feel like I could have done better with smoke cloud running, but as it is, I think I managed decently for never doing this before. That's my opinion on how I think this worked, but you are more than welcome to comment down below and let me know what you thought of this attempt from a 2D animator who has not drawn full characters like this in hand-drawn animation in an hour. You can let me know if this was a complete disaster and I should be packing my bags for culinary school and building on some cake skills.